So we're here at my gym. This is where I did all of the preparation to become the first youth world medalist in weightlifting in my country, in the history of the sport. This is where I've snatched 160 kilos on that platform over there. And I'm going to be showing you guys the top 3 exercises for your back, core, upper body, and legs. Upper body wise, core, and back, I've never had the best genetics in that sense. I've always had very good genetics with my legs, but not with the rest of my body. Okay, so I've had to work extremely hard with my accessories. My story with accessories is that for the first 5 years of my, weightlifting journey, I was always skipping them. I was never doing them because I had no energy after my weightlifting session. I had to do other things and I just did not want to do them. Same thing a little bit with my mobility. I would just stretch a little bit before my weightlifting session and then that's it, right? And so I had a big failure at the World Championship in 2023, and that's when I realized, everything hurts all of the time. I'm not extremely mobile, and I was set to become world champion, but I finished 5th. There's something wrong that I'm doing. And that's when I implemented the 3-2-2 training system, which is 3 weightlifting sessions per week, 2 accessory sessions per week, and 2 rest days, okay? Because I realized after doing snatch, clean jerk, back squat, a bunch of variations, a bunch of weightlifting exercise, I don't have the energy to actually do accessories. So I'm going to dedicate a whole entire session to accessories. And that's when I implemented 3-2-2, and I was able to take my physique from this to this, okay, in the span of 6 months. So absolutely crazy, and I did not lose weight, right? Here in this picture that I showed you guys where I'm looking very chubby, I was weighing 82, 83 kilos. Same thing for this other picture. I went from 145 kilo snatch to 160, from 167 to 185 kilo clean jerk. So this, what I'm going to show you guys in this video, obviously doesn't not only work for me, but it works for multiple of my clients. I'm not going to be talking about the hundreds of results that my clients have. If you actually want to see my client results, go on my Instagram page. Now let's get into the actual information of this video, but always remember, information is useless without implementation. Let's get into it. Legs now. I've only done accessories for legs once every 2 weeks. Why? Because I've squatted 280 kilos at 17 years old while only squatting 2-3 times per week, right? So I'm pretty much of a natural for the legs, right? I have good genetics. But I've had one of my athletes that was not the case. Why? Because they had long femurs, because they started lifting at the age of 30-35 years old. So for example, one of my guys, Moy, he went from not being able to squat 110 kilos to being able to front squat 120 kilos for reps. Another example, one of my guys, Jacob, he came to me and he was barely even able to squat 160 kilos. Now he's squatting 180 kilos for reps. So I've done a bunch of strength cycles with multiple athletes from different levels. For example, Megan, when she came to me, she was struggling to stand up with 105 kilo clean. Now she's able to stand up very, very easily with 115, 116 kilo clean jerk. Okay, so as I said, I've helped a lot of athletes with their leg strengths. So here are the top 3 accessories that I recommend for legs. Number 1, Bulgarian split squats. Emily's gonna give us the example. So the weight is completely going to depend on your sex, if you're a woman, if you're a male, on your body weight, on your level, on the current situation that you are right now with your training. So I cannot truly give you a weight, but you can do this for 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps. I love to do this after their back squat sessions or their front squat sessions, okay, so they can actually feel the pump on their legs. Exercise number 2 for the legs is very, very simple, is pistols. Because in the Bulgarian split squat, you only go until 90 degrees. Okay, you're not going to the full range of motion that is required in weightlifting. So I love to use pistols. For every single one of you that is very strong in the legs, you can do pistols this way. Go, Emily. Exactly. Or you can simply use a rack where you're going to put your hand just right here, go on the rack, and you're going to go just like that. So for the pistols, you can do 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Okay? So now let's get into the third exercise. So for the third leg exercise, I'm going to give you 2 variations. For example, me, I've had some knee pain in the past, so I'm not going to be doing that exercise. I'm going to be doing the second one, okay? So first variation is the back squat plus jump, okay? Go on, Emily. Once again, you're going to be doing 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps with the barbell. You can do it with 15 kilos. If it burns too much with 15 kilos, you can do it with a 7 kilo barbell like Emily, or you can simply do it without a barbell. It's absolutely going to burn your legs. And if you want to do it without a barbell, you can even do it for 20-25 reps. Afterwards, the second variation of this, if you have knee pain or hip pain, whatever it is thrusters. Thrusters, you can do it with 35, 40, 45 kilos. It's going to depend on, once again, your body weight and your level. Go ahead, Emily. And you're not going to do what Emily just did, okay? I want you to actually push with your legs so we can also work on explosivity, okay? Go on, Emily. That's it. Good job. So now, top 3 exercises for the upper body. I've never had the right genetics for the upper body. I was very, very weak at shoulder presses, was very, very weak on my upper body. I didn't look great at the age of 14, 15, 16 years old, but I never used my genetics as an excuse, and I just maximized all of my potential on accessories. And these 3 accessories made me go from looking like this to looking like this, okay? So I'm going to show you guys the top 3 accessories. Number 1, this is my favorite one because it's so specific to the sport. And this accessory doesn't only require strength, it requires positioning and also mobility, okay? And stability also. So this is my favorite one ever, and I put it for every single one of my athletes on a weekly basis. And it's called clean sot press. I love also the snatch sot press, but the clean sot press is one of the hardest movements. Emily, go ahead and give us the example. So what most people are going to do is they're going to go and squat, and they're just gonna, remove their heels from the floor. No bueno, not good, okay? You need to keep your heels on the floor and go ahead and do the sot press. You can do that for 8 reps, 10 reps with 15, 20, 25 kilos, depending on your level. If you're not able to do the sot press because you lack mobility, you lack positioning, what you're going to do is you're going to go on a 90-degree squat and you're going to be doing the presses. Emily, go ahead. You're going to go here and you go on and you do the sot press. This exercise also burns a lot the upper back, so it's absolutely beautiful. You can try one of these 2 variations depending once again on your level. Now let's get into the second exercise. So the second one, it's going to be with the dumbbells. Now, I always see weightlifters doing this, doing a bunch of biceps because they want to look good at the beach, okay? Look, biceps is one of the most overrated muscles in weightlifting. You don't need biceps in weightlifting. What you actually need is triceps, because it's not only going to protect your elbows, your wrist, and even your shoulders, it's also going to make your arm look way bigger. I never do biceps and I still have some pretty big arms. It's one of the biggest parts of my body. So here's my best exercise for triceps. Now, I see every single lifter in the gym, for some reason, doing triceps with a 15 kilo bar or 20 kilo bar like this. Now, this hurts a lot my elbows, and even some of my clients, they've told me, hey Brian, it also hurts my elbows, and I don't feel the triceps that much. So now I'm going to give you the best exercise for triceps. What you're going to do is you're going to take here, you're going to put your arm here, you're going to bend over like this, keeping your back straight, and you're going to, boom, 1, 2. 1, 2. After 3-4 reps, you're going to feel your tricep absolutely burning. I want you to do 10 to 12 reps so you can actually protect your elbows, have a big arm so when you go to the beach, everyone looks at you, and to protect also your shoulders and your wrist. Now, third exercise. This one you can do it either with plates, so 5 kilo plates or 10 kilo plates. That's how I usually do it. Or you can also do it with dumbbells, okay? So you're going to go ahead, you're going to take 2 dumbbells, you're going to bend over just like this, you're going to keep your chest up, this is the most important part of the exercise, and you're not going to keep your arms straight. This is the biggest mistake you can make, okay? You can bend your arms a little bit and you're going to go ahead and control the movement, okay? I don't want this. I see some, athletes doing that, but it's not the best way to do it. Always control the movement on accessories, okay? Depending on the accessories, there's accessories where you're going to have to work on your explosivity, mainly with your legs, but for the upper body, most accessories, you don't actually need explosivity. Obviously, there are accessories where you're going to be working the explosivity, but this one is not one of them, okay? So always chest up, bend a little bit your arms, and you're going to go ahead and do 10 to 12 reps for 3 or 4 sets. Now, for the core, for your back, for weightlifting, for life in general, this is one of the most underrated, most hated on accessories of all time, but it's ironically the most important accessory no matter what type of lifter you are, no matter what, if you're a male, you're a female, if you weigh 40 kilos, if you weigh 110 kilos, if you weigh 150, well, if you weigh 150, the most important thing is your diet. It's not back extensions. But your back extensions is literally what took my clean from 165 kilos to 185 kilos. I was always a very, very weak lifter in my core and in my back especially, okay? Especially my lower back. Once I implemented these 2-3 times per week, completely changed my life, guys. Completely changed my clean and jerks, completely improved my snatches also. Okay, so what I want you to do is to be doing back extensions with a 20 kilo bar. You can put 20, you can put 30 kilos, 40 kilos. One of my best clients, he does it with 55 kilos, okay? I do it with 45, 50, but he does it with 55. He's really, really strong, okay? So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be taking the bar. And guys, I'm extremely sore right now in my back because yesterday I did hang snatches below the knee and I did like a bunch of reps, so I'm not going to be taking a bar because I'm way too sore. But you're going to be taking the bar like this, you're going to go like that, and boom. One of the biggest mistakes I see in the back extensions is lifters going like this, right? First of all, that doesn't serve to anything. And second of all, you're just going to eventually hurt your back if you do that. Okay, so obviously do not stay here. You can go and arc a little bit your back, but don't over arc it. So you can do this for 5 sets, 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps. I've tried multiple times doing heavier back extensions at 5 to 6 reps, right? But I see way more benefit when I do 10 to 12 reps, and my back, is very, very big. My back is overdeveloped compared to the rest of my body, which is pretty good for weightlifting, okay? So truly, guys, maximize on this exercise. If there's one thing you take out of this video, please, it needs to be to do your back extensions, because that doesn't only work on your upper back, lower back, and middle back, it also works on your hamstrings and glutes, okay? So do not skip this accessory. This is the most important one. Now, the second exercise for your core, you're going to take a 5 kilo plate if you're a male. If you're a female, you can take a 2.5, or you can even take a 5 kilo plate, because something that I've seen is that females nowadays are stronger in their core than guys. I've got females in my coaching doing it with 5 kilos, and I've got guys in my coaching that are 30, 35 years old, and they cannot even take a plate. They need to do it, weightless, just with their body weight. So, it's gonna depend on your level. Once again, it's not really going to depend on your sex on this one. So yeah, let's get it. You're going to take the 5 kilo plate. You're going to put it behind your head, like this. I don't want it here, I don't want it here, I don't want it here, I want it here, behind your head, okay? Second of all, I don't want you to put your toes under anything, okay? The toes are here, you put them on the floor. I don't want your training partner holding your feet. I don't want any of that, okay? They need to be free, okay? You put it behind your head and you're going to go and do abs like these. Okay, going to go like this. You can do it for 10 reps. Now, you've seen my feet went out of the floor like this, okay? I don't want that. I want you to truly keep your feet on the floor, okay? You're going to go like this for 10 to 12 reps. This exercise, guys, is even difficult for me, and I do it every single week, okay? I started where I could not even do it with a plate of 1 kilo. Okay, and now I'm able to do it with 5 kilos. So if you can do it with 10 kilos, also do it with 10 kilos. If you're able to do it with 10 kilos, you're the weightlifter with the strongest core I've ever seen, okay? Because I've seen, like, you can take a 15 kilo plate, put your toes under the dumbbells here and you can do a bunch of abs, right? But that doesn't work on your abs as much as this exercise that I'm showing you right here, okay? So you can do 4 sets of 12 reps. Every single time you do back extensions or whatever exercise on the back, go ahead and do the same amount of exercises for your abs, okay? Because one mistake that a lot of weightlifters make is that they truly focus on back strength, back extensions, good mornings, Romanian deadlifts, but they completely forget about their abs, and that creates a lot of back pain, okay? Because it's truly a balance. If your abs are stronger than your back is gonna hurt. If your back is stronger than your abs, your back is going to be overcharged, which eventually you're going to injure your back also. So you need to work on both at the same time. Now, third and last exercise that I recommend to everyone for their core and back. And on this exercise, you know, sometimes in life it's not about what you do, but it's about how you do it. Okay, and so you have 2 variations for this third exercise. It's either good mornings or it's either Romanian deadlifts. I like more good mornings for this reason, and it's the positioning, okay? When I'm doing Romanian deadlifts, I'm not feeling my back as much as when I'm doing the good mornings. Why? Because in the good mornings, I'm able to keep the position way easier, okay? Now, the mistake that most people make on the good mornings is that they just go ahead. Let me just change the camera a little bit so you guys can see my legs. I'm gonna put it right here. Perfect. So the biggest mistake that I see people make on the good mornings is that they do this, okay? They just open their legs like this and they go. There, you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. You're maybe working a little bit on your glutes and hamstrings, but you're not doing anything. What I want you to do is to actually close your legs, okay? Like this. You're going to keep your chest up. Can you see the difference when I'm here and when I'm here, right? Here and here, completely different, and it's the same thing in the back squat. Most people are like this. I want you like this, okay? Same thing in the good mornings. You're gonna go ahead and you're going to control the descent while I'm keeping my chest up and sticking my butt out. Okay? Most people, they just go like this. Not good. You're not working what you need to work on the good morning. Chest up, start to stick your butt out, and you go up. Okay? Once you start breaking the position, that's when you go up. Okay? You can go like this. If you're very mobile like me, you can go very low. Okay? But I don't want you to break the position. You can do this for 10 to 12 reps once again. And what I want you to do is this, okay? I want you to always keep the position. Not go like this, you have the perfect position, and then you go like this again. Okay? I want you to keep the position so you can keep that squeeze in the upper back and lower back. This exercise, if you do it correctly, it's a game changer. As I said, in life, it's not always about what you do, but about how you do it. So that is it for the Accessory Masterclass. Always remember, information without implementation is useless. Okay? You need to implement everything you've seen on this video from now on your training sessions. Now, if you want results like my guy Moy, who added 30 kilos to his total in the span of 3 months, same thing for my guy Kyle, same thing for my guy Thomas, same thing for my guy Jacob, who went from 120 kilo snatch to 135 kilo snatch, same thing for my elite member Melissa, who went from 30 kilo snatch to 45 kilo snatch, same thing for Mariem, who's a CrossFitter, and she went from 40 to 55 kilo snatch. If you actually want those same results and you want to transform your weightlifting, your accessories, your physique in 2026, click the link on my description and book a one-on-one qualification call with me. And if you like the video, shoot me a like, shoot me a subscribe so you can actually help with the algorithm and we can help more lifters transform their weightlifting physique, accessories, mobility, positioning, technique, and everything else, their whole entire life in 2026. See you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for the support. Let's get it.